I just got back from the slopes. It's ski breakfast today on Let's Cook. Hi, welcome to Let's Cook. Now you might notice that I'm not wearing my chef's whites. I'm actually wearing a shirt with a little bit of a mock turtleneck here. I might have a little facial hair. That's because I was just skiing for a week. I was up in Quebec. I had a great time, and it really worked as a catalyst for me to do some nice ski cuisine. So all week this week on Let's Cook, we're doing ski cuisine. Today we're doing our breakfast. First thing we're going to start out with is we're going to start out with a smoothie. Now, when you're going skiing, breakfast is a very important meal. You don't want to be out there and all of a sudden get tired or fatigued. So this is one drink that's going to give you energy for the day. I'm going to start it where I'm using some different fruits that I have here. I have some berries, some melon, grapes, seedless grapes, a little bit of pineapple here. Perfect. To this now, I'm also going to add some banana. Using those mussels out there, you need that potassium from the banana, so we're going to put just a little bit of banana in here too. Nice fresh banana, so we'll just drop our banana in here. Also, I like to use I have some yogurt right here. Let me just get my spoon right here. I have some yogurt right here. Put a little bit of yogurt. This is actually yogurt cheese. A little bit of syrup. You're going to use up that sugar for the energy. Then ice cold orange juice. Put our ice cold orange juice in here so it comes up about, just about halfway up the fruit. Last but not least, I'm going to put a little bit of soy protein powder in this. It's no dairy in that, there's no flour in this, there's no wheat, there's no corn, totally from soybeans. Protein powder, perfect. We're going to liquefy this now. Get this all nice and smooth. No ice. Notice there's no ice in this at all because you don't want to dilute the flavor. You don't want to dilute the energy it's going to give you. So we have our beautiful smoothie that we're going to have right here. This is going to help us start out the day for the slopes in a great way. And then if you'd like, just take a little piece of banana or berry here. Put that just on the side there so that you can enjoy that too. So that's our smoothie. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a little bit of a yogurt breakfast here for when you're skiing. So for the yogurt breakfast, first of all, I have some yogurt right there, but what you're going to do is you're going to take a strainer like this with some cheesecloth, and you're going to take the yogurt and you're going to make almost like a yogurt cheese, which means you can do this overnight. It'll be perfect. You're just going to drop the yogurt in there, get it all in there. Please come out. Oh, beautiful. Then we're going to take this, put the cheesecloth on top, and you can even put a little bit of a weight there, maybe an 8-ounce weight. Use a half a pound of butter with the plate, and this is what it's going to drain down to, so you can see how much water actually comes out of the yogurt. My yogurt's ready. Nice concentrated flavor. You can use regular yogurt too, but I like to do it this way. Then we're going to make a dried fruit compote to go with this. For the dried fruit compote, first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take some water. You could use juice if you wanted. A little bit of sugar. We're going to make a simple syrup. We're going to cook this down by about a fourth. Once it's cooked down, we're going to add to it some plums, some dates, dried cherries, and dried cranberries. And we cook this. And you're going to cook this until you have the consistency that's good like this. And I already have one done here. And I'm going to show you the difference between the two of these because you can see how everything plumps up here. You see how nice and plump this gets? And we're going to serve this warm. So you can make this again the day ahead. You can make it, hold it in the refrigerator, just bring it up, reheat it a little bit, and serve it with the yogurt. Then to serve this, and again, this is going to make a great breakfast for you. Whoops, don't want that to slip in there. Just going to take some of our dried yogurt cheese here. You see the consistency of it now? Just show you the consistency where it really holds its shape right here. Take a little bit of our yogurt right here, along with the yogurt. Now we're going to serve some of our compote right here with this. So you have the nice cold yogurt, you have the dried fruit compote here. Then Little difference in texture, we're going to add some toasted almonds to this and a little bit of toasted coconut. Absolutely delicious yogurt breakfast with the dried fruit compote for your ski breakfast. We're going to take a little break right now, and then when we come back, we have some oatmeal that's going to give you all the energy you'll need for the slopes. Don't go anywhere. It's ski breakfast today on Let's Cook. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook, where we are doing a ski breakfast. If you're just joining the show, I was away for a week. I was up in Quebec. I was skiing, hence the facial hair. Keeps you warm up there on the slopes. Plus, you get to have a great breakfast. So, one of my favorite breakfast items, whether I'm skiing or not, is oatmeal. Kind of stays with you all day, gives you that energy. And there's an interesting fact. We as Homo sapiens have not been digesting processed grains. I'm talking about flour and that type of thing and sugars for a very long time. So when we have whole grains, it's much healthier for us. It's easier for our body to digest. As a matter of fact, they've even linked acne to finely ground flours or processed food. Did you know that? Not so much chocolate. Yeah, just figured I'd let you know that. Now, oatmeal. Let's go over the ingredients I'm going to use in my oatmeal. First of all, I have some oatmeal there. I have dried fruit. I like butter, brown sugar. I'm going to use a little bit of heavy cream in mine and water, and I'm also going to use salt. Let me just show you what you have to do to make oatmeal, because salt is key in making good oatmeal. So all I'm going to do right now is I would just take my pot, put it on the stove here. I would put in some water. You could use skim milk if you want. I'm skiing, so I'm also going to use some heavy cream with this. Hit this with a little bit of salt. You need that salt in the oatmeal. It really brings out the flavor. We add our oats to this, and we start to cook this cover for about 20 minutes. Let me show you something about oatmeal too, because right here I have two different types of oatmeal. I have the rolled oats right here, and I have the steel cut or Irish oatmeal here. The difference between the two is one was put through a roller, hence the term rolled oatmeal, and the other was not. You see, it's a different, and this is also known as Irish oatmeal. Now, I'm actually going to use some of this in my oatmeal too, and you'll see exactly how I'm going to do that. Now this is going to cook covered. You have to stir it, bring it up to a boil. Doesn't take too long. When it looks like this right here, see how nice and creamy this is? Doesn't this look great? This is when you could add your dried fruits like this, or if you made the yogurt dish that we made earlier with the dried fruit compote, put a little bit of that compote in there. So that's all I'm going to do. Just add a little bit of this dried fruit compote right in here. Oh, so good, so healthy. Then, to finish our oatmeal, the other thing that we have to do is you need hot milk. You don't want to be making your oatmeal or serving your oatmeal with cold milk or cold heavy cream, so you should always heat the cream or milk you're going to serve it with. And I'll show you exactly what this is going to look like. My father used to make this in the morning where you could actually stand a spoon up in it. But we'll just take a little bit of our oatmeal here. Then, very important, again, remember you're on the slopes, doesn't matter. I like brown sugar. I also like a little bit of butter right there in the middle so that the oatmeal is warm enough to melt it. Then we'll take, just on top here, a little bit of, this is going to give us just a little bit of grit right here, a little bit of the steel cut oatmeal right there, and then, our hot heavy cream. So you want to make sure your cream is nice and hot. I'm just going to put a little bit of hot heavy cream or milk on top of this. Oh, and of course for me, I like just a little bit more brown sugar right on top there. And there we have our delicious oatmeal with the dried fruit compote or dried fruits that you could have on your ski breakfast. And I'll tell you something, get out there about 8:30, about 11:30, you're hungry, but you're not tired. We're going to take a little break, and then when we come back, I have another breakfast item, one of my favorites, French toast, with a little bit of a different twist for your ski breakfast. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook, where we are doing a ski breakfast. Hence, that's where I was. I was away. If you're just joining the show, I was away. I grew a little bit of facial hair, Had a great time skiing. I feel very fit, you know. You get to use different muscles you never get to use again or haven't used in a while. So it just kind of brings you back to life. And so will this breakfast. Now, French toast. Everybody knows how to make French toast, right? It's very simple. Eggs, a little bit of cream or milk, flavor up the egg batter, dip the good bread, good French bread, into the batter, let it rest, let it soak up the egg batter. Then we saute it or pan fry it, or you can even deep fry it. We're doing two of those things today, but we're going to make it a little different. We're going to wrap it in bacon. So the first thing we'll do is let's make the batter first. Before we even cut the bread, we'll make the batter. So into my batter now, I'm going to start a little bit of sugar in here, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of orange zest, a little bit of orange juice. Orange juice concentrate works real well with this. And then we'll break our eggs in here. Now when you break eggs, if you can handle the eggs, I'm not handling them too well, it's a good idea to break them into a bowl, drop them into the bowl first before you put them wherever you're going to put them. You'll only need to do that if you're afraid you're going to lose a shell in there. If you're not afraid of that, just break the egg right in there. Just make sure that you don't get any shell in it at all. So we have our eggs. We add our milk to this, or when I'm skiing, I actually like to use half and half or heavy cream. Just take this, we'll mix this up a little bit. Making sure you break all those eggs. That's good. So now we have our batter done here. So our batter's good to go. Next we have to cut the bread. Stale bread is actually better. It's going to absorb more liquid. We're just going to take these down. We're going to cut this. Whoa, you can see how tough this is. I'm going to cut this down to thickness of bacon. And I'm going to use thick cut bacon to wrap these in. And you have to wrap these into bacon first before you put them in the batter. So have these all ready to go. Now I have my thick cut bacon here. Now somebody's saying, Paul, you're wrapping it in bacon before you cook it? Yes, I am. But I was thinking about this when I was away and I was skiing, and I never did this when I was skiing. I did do the oatmeal and I did do the yogurt, but we'll just take our bacon this way, set up our bread this way. And you know something, if you have stale bread, you could even do this the night before. Then we simply pick this up, roll the bacon around the hard bread. Now you'll notice when I do this that I'm completing one task at a time. And this is, you know, when you're away on those ski weekends, and I was fortunate enough to go with my children, and even a couple of their friends, had a great time with them. Everybody kind of chipped in and made the food. Now, here's what we do. Once you've rolled it this way, take a skewer, bamboo skewer. You're going to go down this way. And you're actually going to use 2 skewers in each one. Go like this, and you pick it up and you push it through. Stand it up. Pick it up, push it through, stand it up. Stand up, and you need to make sure that you go through the bacon on the other side, because the way we're going to make this, one of the methods we're going to use, it can end up falling apart. So, push that all the way through. Then once you have the bacon locked in, come in from the other side and go across it so that you're going through the bacon this way as well. Reason being is on some of these pieces, we're actually going to deep fry them. And the bacon will have a tendency of curling up. So this way, this is going to hold it in a good position. So we go through this way. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to marinate these in a batter. Simply have a nice flat plate like this, take your French toast, and you can see that these are pretty thick pieces of French toast. Set them up in a nice flat plate, put your batter on top of them. Now, the way these are designed to absorb the milk through the crust and everything, what you have to do is you have to keep turning these, because if you made enough batter to cover these, you'd end up wasting a lot of batter. So you let them sit for about 5 minutes. You turn them over this way, you turn them over this way, and you keep on turning them until they've absorbed all the batter. Now I have some here that I've already done right here that have absorbed the batter. And the way I can tell is we go like this, and it's nice and soft, and you see how the batter, and you really want these to sit for a while. Now, the first way I'm going to make these, or show you how to get these started, is we're going to actually saute them. So when I saute these, how's the bacon going to cook? It's very simple. The bacon is going to cook when I finish them in the oven because these are thick. These are about 1.5 inches thick. So I start with my pan this way. I get it nice and hot, and then we're going to start cooking these. And I'm going to actually do 2 in the pan this way. Let them start to cook up, and they're going to get really nice and brown, and I'm going to brown them almost all the way through on both sides before I put them in the oven. Then I'm going to put them in a 350-degree oven for roughly about 12 minutes to finish cooking the bacon and to cook the egg all the way through. This is one way of making where you can saute them, but you have to finish them in the oven. The other way you can make them, which I believe is my preferred method, is where we take our French toast right here. Carefully now, because we have hot oil here. Now the oil, not 350 degrees. You only want it around 310, 320 degrees, because otherwise it won't cook all the way through. And the bacon won't cook all the way through. I'm going to take this, let them start to cook in the hot oil right here. So you'll notice that they're bubbling, but they're not bubbling real fast. The oil is not that hot, because if it was really hot, what would end up happening is the bacon would cook too fast, the egg would not cook all the way through on the bread, and it would get overly brown. So we're just going to let these start to cook here, and you'll notice that they're basically just kind of sitting in the oil where the oil is barely covering them. So what we're going to have to do with these is we're going to have to keep turning them every once in a while so they brown evenly, and you want that bacon to cook. And you'll notice here with the skewers, cool thing with the skewers is I can pick it up with my tongs to turn it where I don't really even have to touch the food, and we can let these start to cook. So just turn these over. Beautiful. Gonna let these start to cook. When they're done, they're gonna be absolutely golden brown. The bacon's gonna be golden brown and crisp. The French toast itself is gonna be nice and golden brown. It's gonna be cooked all the way through. Oh, great ski breakfast, is it? Let's take a look at these now. Let me see if these are ready to turn. Yep, these are ready to turn. So all we want to do with these is just get a little bit of color on these. Then we're going to finish these again at 350-degree oven just to cook that bacon. We're going to take a little break right now. And then when we come back, I'm going to show you how to finish this delicious deep-fried or pan-sauteed French toast wrapped in bacon. It's definitely ski breakfast today on Let's Cook. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to our ski breakfast today. I'm pulling our French toast that was wrapped in bacon out of the oil here that we fried. We also have one in the oven. And by the way, when you take these out of the oil, you know, somebody might be saying, oh, it's so fatty, Paul. Yes, you know, you do have bacon there, but eggs are also loaded high in fat, okay? And the bacon prevents the oil. Bacon can't absorb oil. As a matter of fact, you're rendering the bacon out when you do this. So we have our deep fried ones here. We have the ones that we sauteed and finished in the oven. And what I did with these while they were in the oven is I kept on turning them a little bit so the bacon was down in the oil to absorb that. Now I'm going to go ahead and plate these up. To plate these up, what we need to do is we're just going to remove our skewers before you go to serve them. Need to take those out. And then, before we put them on the plate, we're going to hit them with a little bit of powdered sugar here. Oh. Then, we're going to put it on the plate here. So, today on Let's Cook for our ski breakfast, we made some great food, starting with our French toast here. A little bit of syrup there. In addition to that, we did the smoothie, we did the yogurt, and we did the oatmeal. Skiing's a great sport. Have a lot of fun, but enjoy food when you're doing it. Thank you so much for watching Let's Cook today. Bye-bye for now.